Okay, thank you very much for joining the online reading session of the book, The Modern Mission of Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna. Om Ajnanatimrandasya Gyananjana Shalakya Chakshuramitam Jnana Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha Namo Vishnuvaya Krishna Prishthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namo Vishnuvaya Krishna Prishthaya Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharini Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschati Deshta Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasudeva Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Hare Hare Gam Karati Vachalam Mangalam Gayati Grimit Kripadamam Vande Shri Gunajanatarnam Paramananda Madhavam Shri Chaitanya Ishwaram Gurave Gaurachandraya Adhikaya Tadare Krishnaya Krishna Bhaktaya Tadbhaktaya Namo Namaha Bhagishaya Svadane Lakshmi Yasya Savakshasi Yasyaste Hare Sambit Tam Nrsimham Aham Bhajet Rupyam Grivayam Sapattanam Likesari Kesari Swaputanam Anisham Ukravikram Devi Paravakti Yatha Devi Tatha Guru Tasya Katitaya Prakashanta Mahatma Yanta Pravishamaja Mam Prasuttam Sanjeevayatya Vilashat Tarasvadhamanyam Chastra Charnashunatvadi Pranam Bhavate Purushaya Vijayaguru Harivanya Krishna Chitto Vichinto Partrigihatam Samsara Kupa Prabhupada Sukhavta Majjham Samsa Vishwa Punchayat Vikaso Bhakti Purva Vitindra Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Ram Ram Hare Hare. Okay. So devotees able to see the screen? They're able to get the screen? Devotees able to hear my voice?
Yes, Prabhuji. Yes,
Able to
Prabhuji.
hear? Okay, it's clear? It's not. Okay. Thank you. So we are reading from the book, The Modern Mission of Srila Prabhupada, and we are reading from volume 3, part 14, Srila Prabhupada and his disciples. Still we are in the same section. It's a very big topic. Very big. I think this is the biggest one. This is the longest and biggest. Yeah, this is the longest one as far as I have read. Okay, so we are continuing to read. To write, publish, and distribute books. Further evidence that Srila Prabhupada wanted his disciples to write books for publication. Every one of you should write something. So, if you have completed any small booklets, you may send them to me, and I shall see them and send to Hayagriva for possible printing. The scientific okay, it's a new one. The scientific basis of Krishna consciousness by Satsvarup Das and readings in Vedic literature by Satsvarup Das Goswami. Sorry, the scientific basis of Krishna consciousness by Swarup Damodar Das and readings in Vedic literature by Satsvarup Das Goswami were two books that Srila Prabhupada commissioned, printed by the BBT for widespread distribution and praised and promoted, saying these two books are very important. Okay. First, I have to read them. I've read scientific basis, but I have not read readings in Vedic literature. Did anybody read readings in Vedic literature? I've not read. Okay. Another book by a disciple of Srila Prabhupada that was published in his presence and endorsed by him was the Hare Krishna cookbook by Kirtananda Swami. Okay, Kirtananda Maharaj also wrote a book. I know his books are there. There were other books that Srila Prabhupada commissioned but were not done, at least not during Srila Prabhupada's manifest presence. These include an exposition of how the Bhagavad Gita offers practical solutions to the world problems, for which Srila Prabhupada personally coached Bhagavan Das. Another was a proposed volume debunking Darwinism to a group of scientist disciples who outlined to him the intended contents. Srila Prabhupada said, if you can write this book nicely altogether, it will be a great service to Krishna. Similarly, just after Sri Das Goswami had finished drafting readings in Vedic literature, Srila Prabhupada told him to compose a book about why things undertaken without Krishna fail, and discussed with him the proposed contents. Having primed a leading disciple in arguments against Marxist theory, Srila Prabhupada sent the resulting manuscript titled The Spiritual Dialectism for publication, and he discussed with scientist disciples the content of a journal they were to produce and to be called Savigyanam. He ordered Swarup Damodar Das to write books and show that God is a person, and to write a scientific commentary on Vedanta Sutra. Wow. Actually, if you happen to see that there is one there is one book published by Bhaktivedanta Institute. It's a big long book. It's 1,000 rupees. It contains all the conversations with Sarup Damodar Maharaj, and it is very nicely presented, everything, and whatever Prabhupada wanted in one book encapsulated what Prabhupada wanted regarding scientific preaching. And they have printed very few books, and they were selling it in Mayapur also. I happened to get that book, but somehow I lost that book somewhere. I don't know where I lost it. To a GBC member, Srila Prabhupada wrote, yes, you immediately write one book, you describe, but I think the title, Intellectual Animalism, is the best. I will be very pleased to see this book, so do it without fail. Also, you may give hints to our other GBC men and other disciples, and they may also write on this subject matter. Reportedly, Srila Prabhupada stated that his disciples would write purports to his purports. Told by Jagadish Das. This is concordant with the Vedic commentarial tradition, wherein sub-commentaries by discipular followers are meant to further illuminate the commentaries and other writings of previous acharyas. This is very, very important. That is what Maharaj is doing. Indeed, such sub-commentaries add to the perceived importance of the original writings. Maharaj has written a commentary on Bhagavad Gita. Maharaj has written a commentary, whole commentary. He's writing, actually it's going on Sri Chaitanya Charitamrita. Maharaj has an elaborate commentary on Chaitanya Charitamrita. Actually, it covers tradition, Bengali tradition, how other traditions were influenced by Gaudiya Vaishnavism, and Gaudiya Vaishnavism, how it is influencing other sampradayas. Maharaj goes very deep into all those. Sometimes he speaks, and he sometimes we happen to see Maharaj's notes. Maharaj has very, very elaborate notes. Whenever he gets the thought, Krishna gives him some inspiration. He writes it down. So if you read those notes and all, so much Chaitanya Charitamrita. One time, I remember everybody was eagerly waiting for Mood Mission, and everybody was asking for Mood Mission. And Maharaj said, somehow my mind is always on Chaitanya Charitamrita. And he told, and every time he used to speak on Chaitanya Charitamrita. In Salem, it happened once that Maharaj said, at midnight, 2 o'clock, 1 o'clock, Maharaj used to wake up and write Some thought came to him and he was writing, it seems. This is the level of surrender which Maharaj is having. Can you imagine? What people know, they don't know anything unnecessarily speak sometimes ill about Maharaj. But if you be with Maharaj, then you will know that Maharaj is every time. The servant's main duty is to carry the notebook and the pen with Maharaj every time with Maharaj. Whenever. It doesn't matter where Maharaj is. Every time the servant has to hold, I think, water bottle. I think I was also doing that every time. So water bottle, that is important. The bag was important. The bag which Maharaj had so many things, but in that water is important. Second one is book and pen. This is very, 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 very important. And few things are there which Maharaj has to carry it everywhere, wherever he wants to go. So you can't misplace them in any other any. See, I will tell you one thing. You can't place that particular thing in any other place in the bag. So sometimes we put, we take purse from the bag and put in another slot. No, Maharaj doesn't want that. He will put in that same place every time. Tissue will be there in the same place. The pen will be there in the same place. The diary will be there in the same place. I mean, Maharaj has this ear muffler or to close the ears that will be there in the same place. So every time, earbuds also will be there in the same place. So every time, whenever Maharaj wants, he will not see second thought. He will just think and take it from that particular place and then use it. If it is a pen, Maharaj knows where is the pen. He will not think twice. So his hand goes and immediately. And the pen is not there, that's all. You are like, you servant is spaced out. So servant should remember where when Maharaj is going for Mangalarti, we grab the bag, we grab the diary, we grab the pen, and then we have to hold wherever Maharaj is there. Whether it is a Guru Puja, whether it is Mangalarti or anywhere, we have to keep the pen, tissue, and because Maharaj is having some problem. Whenever Maharaj is having some problem in the nose, so better to have tissue and pen. And you can see Maharaj. Suddenly Maharaj will, in the midst of Guru Puja, in the midst of Sansar Dhamala, anywhere, immediately he will ask, where is book? Immediately he will write it down. So wherever. So it's a very great seva. I think Ramdas Prabhu had a very great opportunity to participate in that. Sometimes when Maharaj comes to give the diary, I hope. I think Ramdas Prabhu did for some time. You did, right? You whenever there is an opportunity. I don't know. Ramdas Prabhu is not responding. Right? He's not there. Anywhere the devotee has any experience with Maharaj, like regarding this particular thing? Is anybody not able to hear me? क्या हो क्या रहा है?
Yes, bro, we can hear you.
Yeah, I saw this time in Vyasa Puja during morning chanting. Maharaj was writing something. Yeah, every time. Ramdas Prabhu? No, he's not there. He's in some other place. Okay. So systematic compilations of his teachings were also welcome. His Divine Grace was very pleased to hear your proposal for systematically amassing a subject-by-subject encyclopedic compilation of all Srila Prabhupada's writing, teachings, and instructions as found in his books. Bhaktisiddhanta Thakur wanted to write Vaishnava Suchika, Vaishnava Kosh or Shabda Kosh, something like that. Dictionary. It is like a dictionary. It is like it should have every word wherever, whatever we use in Krishna consciousness or in Sanatana Dharma, where whatever word you use it, there should be a Krishna consciousness right understanding about that particular word. Like, for example, Guru. So there is a particular whole understanding about Guru. What is a Guru? How many types of Gurus are there? What is the role of a Guru? Everything in that. Like, for example, somebody says yoga, everything regarding yoga. Somebody says dharma, everything about that, everything about it. They say devata. If you say anything, so he wanted to have, and they were doing it. Sundarananda Vidya Vinod, Ananta Vasudev. There are, Bhakti Tirtha Vilas Goswami Maharaj, Don Maharaj. All these people they were doing it, but somehow after Prabhupada Thakur left, the project got stopped. He said it is very welcome. Continuing, he said it is very welcome suggestion. Srila Prabhupada also approved that a biography of himself be written. Oh, regarding which Tamal Krishna Maharaj said to him, when this book is written properly, it will attract people to join this movement, because I read once a biography of a very bogus person, but I was so much, people become so much impelled or attracted when they hear of a great personality and his activities. It makes them want to link up with such a person. So this book will have preaching effect, no doubt, and it will be filled with philosophy also. Yeah, yesterday I could experience that. This bogus Sadguru followers, they speak about his personal dealings so much with us in such a way that during preaching they don't have any understanding of Krishna consciousness, but they simply want to tell about Sadguru, that he is like that, he is like that, he is like that. So it is like that. Goes more or less like the person who is leading, because ISKCON, single person doesn't represent. ISKCON is like, GGC body is there, so many gurus are there. So it is difficult for people to fix. They know ISKCON, Hare Krishna, Krishna, Bhagavad Gita, they come to the temple. But other organizations, they go more personal. Like, that person, it goes according to that particular person. That's why we should more tell about Prabhupada in relation to Krishna, in relation to how he made impact, how he wrote Bhagavad Gita as it is book, why other books are not good. So in relation to Prabhupada's movement, we should tell, not that we have to tell that we are feeding so many people, we are feeding. Prabhupada came and showed compassion towards this, that. Not like that. We should be very philosophical in our approach. Another area of writing that Srila Prabhupada encouraged his disciples in was one that he himself had pursued for decades, preaching via correspondence. Mm. Oh, devotees are leaving. Hare Krishna. Oh. Okay, Atindri Prabhu, what pleases Srila Prabhupada the most?
Yes,
Please
Prabhuji.
continue.
What pleases Srila Prabhupada the most? Yasya prasadat bhagavad prasada. One must first please the supreme, please the spiritual master. And if he is pleased, then we should understand that the supreme personality of Godhead is also pleased. Considering that Srila Prabhupada repeatedly stressed the importance of this stanza, it was inevitable that disciples would ask him, what pleases you the most? This happened several times, and Srila Prabhupada's response varied. Srila Prabhupada, we are all eager to hear what will please you the most. There are so many different types of service that are dear to you. Will you tell us clearly what service is most dear to you? Prabhupada said, chant Hare Krishna and become simply wonderful. Eat simply wonderfuls and become simply wonderful. That is all. Hare Krishna. After one lecture, Srila Prabhupada was asked, what is the thing that would please you the most? Srila Prabhupada replied, chant Hare Krishna. Immediately, all the devotees enthusiastically called out, Hare Krishna. Srila Prabhupada then further explained, that is the simple thing. You are chanting, I am very pleased. I came to your country to chant, that you chant also along with me. So you are helping me by chanting. So I am pleased. But this tendency is very nice that you want to please me. That is very good. and to please me is not very difficult. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said that under my order, every one of you go and preach and become a spiritual master. And what is that order? The order is that whomever you meet, you talk to him about Krishna. Similarly, when asked, how can we please you the most? Srila Prabhupada replied, chant Hare Krishna. That will please me. Always 24 hours chant Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram. The importance Srila Prabhupada placed on book distribution is found in many pivotal instructions about book distribution, which much influence the direction of the movement. More than anything, I want that my students should distribute my books and literatures profusely all over the world. I especially want that my books and literatures should be distributed profusely. I want that all my students shall very vigorously try for this book distribution. I am very pleased to hear from you that book sales are increasing very fast. I am hearing such good news from all over the society, and this pleases me more than anything. He wanted his disciples to do everything and anything for spreading this Krishna consciousness literature, stating that this is really pleasing to Krishna, know it for certain. In one letter, Srila Prabhupada wrote, you may please me the most by reading my books and following the instructions therein, and by becoming fully Krishna conscious in this lifetime. Shortly thereafter, he confirmed this. Actually, it is a fact that ultimately everyone should preach and distribute books if they want to please me in the best way. Book distribution must be given stress always. Still, to an enthusiastic book distributor who asked, what pleases you most? Presumably expecting the reply, distribute my books. Srila Prabhupada simply said, if you love Krishna, to a devotee who had sent an encouraging report of preaching, Srila Prabhupada wrote, if you love Krishna, to a devotee who had sent an encouraging report of preaching, Srila Prabhupada wrote, your desire to please me is very pleasing. And to the proposition that devotees want to know what your great pleasure would be, Srila Prabhupada responded similarly. You all become fully Krishna conscious, 100% Krishna conscious.
Prabhu, your volume is little less. Can you do
Oh,
something in such a way that it increases?
okay, I will come linear closer to the laptop, bro. Now it is good.
Oh, laptop, then you should have some mic so that you can speak. Maybe you should do in mobile. Then it is very good.
Uh,
Okay, no problem. For the time being, you can speak little louder, maybe.
okay. So what was the in the first
People, people,
previous
people,
people? Okay.
people are.
People are suffering for want of Krishna consciousness. Let them have this Krishna consciousness and become happy. When another book distributor queried, we know there are many things that please you. Srila Prabhupada, we would like to know what would please you the most. Prabhupada's reply was brief and to the point. Understand Bhagavad Gita and Srimad Bhagavatam. Become perfect and distribute this knowledge to your fellow countrymen. Buddhi Manta Das summarized it. We knew that what he really wanted more than anything was for the devotee to be Krishna conscious and to make other people Krishna conscious. And the best way to do that was to give others his books. When Giriraj Das suggested, two things seem to please you most distributing your books and building the big temple in Mayapur. Srila Prabhupada's face lit up. His eyes opened wide and he smiled. Yes, you have understood. In Tamal Krishna Goswami's estimation, what pleased Srila Prabhupada most was a willingness to serve Krishna. Whenever whenever he could detect within whenever he could detect within a person a willingness to engage in the service of Krishna that pleased him more than anything else. He would simply look for that quality in each person, no matter how hidden it was. If he saw even the slightest spark in anyone, Srila Prabhupada would be pleased. This corroborates Srila Prabhupada's own statement. So far pleasing me is concerned, it is the sincerity of the attempt that is the important thing. Two desires for disciples everywhere. I thank you very much for installing Radha Giridhari. From my childhood, I was very fond of Radha Krishna, and now my good disciples are helping me to open so many Radha Krishna temples all over the world. It gives me so much pleasure. Now introduce Rath Yatra. That was my childhood activity. I want to see my disciples all over the world introduce two items, opening Radha Krishna temples and Rath Yatra festivals. Do this under the protection of Guru Gauranga,
Okay,
repaying the
Prabhu.
debt.
Okay,
Yes,
Prabhu.
Prabhuji.
Other
Yes,
devotees
Prabhuji.
can
Thank
read.
you, Hare Krishna.
If nobody is there, we'll come back to you. Okay, Swarabji, you can start reading.
Okay. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna,
Repaying
Dandavat Pranam.
and repaying the debt. Naturally, Srila Prabhupada's disciple felt tremendous gratitude toward him. Shastra states that a disciple can never repay his spiritual master the debt of having received even one syllable of transcendental knowledge. So, what to speak of the unlimited gifts that Srila Prabhupada bestowed? He gave us everything. Paraphrasing, paraphrasing Srimad Bhagavatam, 11th canto, chapter 29, verse 6, Srila Prabhupada said, nobody can repay their indebtedness to the spiritual master even by getting a duration of life like Brahma. In the words of Sandipani Muni to Krishna and Sudama, as rendered by Srila Prabhupada, I am glad to see that bona fide students like you will undergo any kind of trouble for the satisfaction of the spiritual master. That is the way for a bona fide disciple to become free from his debt to the spiritual master. It is the duty of the disciple to dedicate his life to the service of the spiritual master. Srila Prabhupada reiterated this theme in several letters when replying to expressions of gratitude by disciples. For instance, it is not possible for the disciple to repay the debt to the spiritual master. Therefore, the disciple remains eternally indebted to the spiritual master and continually works in such a way that the spiritual master may become pleased upon him for such sincere services rendered. He especially stressed preaching and book distribution as appropriate responses to disciples' sense of indebtedness. Certainly, Krishna will bless you for taking so much trouble to preach his glories. A Vaishnava feels himself incapable to repay his debt to his spiritual master. Therefore, he works very hard in order to try and repay that debt. He knows that without the mercy of the spiritual master, one cannot reach this Krishna consciousness, and therefore he always tries to act in such a way that he may please his guru.
Yeah,
More and
wanted to say something. There's so much can be spoken on this particular topic. This is very important. Do devotees know the verse where the jiva becomes indebted, and if he surrenders, he is absolved from all debt. Does anybody know the verse from Bhagavatam? You all are reading Bhagavatam, attending Bhagavatam classes every day. So, and some devotees might give also Bhagavatam class. I don't know. So, does anybody know what is the verse? What is the verse which says that a jiva is actually indebted to this, but when he surrenders to Krishna and dedicates his life, he is absolved from all indebtedness. What is the verse? You're reading these all disciple becomes independent. What is the verse? You should know that. Otherwise, what is the point in hearing the classes so much? Here, whoever is coming to the classes or whoever is attending these sessions, they are more than 10, 15 years in the Krishna consciousness movement. So if you don't know that verse, I don't know what's going on. May not be the verse, at least the translation, anybody knows? अब मैं क्या ही बोलूं? Hare Krishna. Nobody is saying anything. Are you able to hear me? Hare Krishna.
Guruji, we can hear you.
Okay.
Prabhu.
Yeah, Mataji also can respond. No problem. Now you can speak out. Now it's you
Prabhuji,
have the chance to.
Prabhuji, watering the root, like if we
No,
surrender to
not
Krishna.
that verse. Not that verse. Okay, you can say that verse, but that is okay. That is also fine. But there is a direct verse. I can tell you the number also. But the point is that what is that verse? You should all know that. How is that? You all don't know. How is that? At least you should know. It's not good. That means we are just for the sake of hearing. What is that? So, what is the verse? Does anybody know the verse? At least the translation also fine, no problem. Does anybody know this word translation? So, I will tell you the rough translation, but exactly I don't know the translation, but I know the verse. The translation goes like this. The translation is the rough translation. That whoever takes birth in this material world is indebted. He has a duty and becomes obliged to sages, general living entities, to
Yes,
the family
Prabhu, I know
members,
that.
to the forefathers.
Devarshiram Mitra.
Now you're saying everything. So what is that verse? So one who surrenders to Krishna, taking shelter of Krishna, who gives liberation, then he is not indebted to, he is not obliged to all these people. It is said there. So I want to make a point here. It's not that just like that I'm speaking here, some mumbo jumbo hodgepodge things. So I am trying to make a point over here. So first we need to get this one first right. So what is the verse which starts like that? Mataji, you said something.
Can I say?
Ayyo, tell. Now I am
Devarsi
giving you
Bhutat.
opportunity to speak. You should speak.
देवर्षि भूतात नृणाम पितॄणाम न किंकरो नायम ऋणिम च राजम
तो पहले क्यों नहीं
सर्वात्मनाय
बोले आपने?
प्रभु जी इसमें गुरु वर्ड नहीं है तो इसलिए मैं डाउट में था कि
मैं बोलना चाहता था ना आपको कि क्या पहले ये तो बोलो कि लिविंग एंटिटीज आई डिडंट आस्क यू अबाउट गुरु आई टोल्ड अबाउट द इंडिटेडनेस ऑफ द लिविंग एंटिटीज whoever is there, whoever takes birth in this world has an obligation, but one who surrenders to Krishna is not obliged. But I wanted to speak on this. There is a great point hidden in this. That's what I'm trying to say. It is said very clearly. How is that? It is said that a person who is born in this world is obliged, he is dutiful and is obliged to sages, general living entities, family members, human beings, forefathers, everybody. And if he surrenders to Krishna, that's all. He is or he is relieved. He is relieved from all kinds of obligation. That's what he said. But then, what about Guru's obligation then? So the point here is that this is in general to make the people to take up Krishna consciousness and understand that there is a possibility that one can become oblivious of these all, because general people, what is happening is they speak about obligation, duty. ये हमारा कर्तव्य है. They speak about kartavya a lot, but they don't speak about the knowledge, transcendental knowledge which Guru gives about Krishna. There are so many verses like this to encourage the people to take up Krishna consciousness. So this verse is one among them. So people should take that encouragement, that it is very good that one can take up Krishna consciousness. He is not obliged, because people speak about every time about indebtedness, duty, 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 duty. But when you come to surrender to Krishna, there is no duty. But it is not like that. That much above than this is that you become dutiful to your spiritual master. That you cannot relieve, because you are eternally indebted to your spiritual master. Although the verse says it is not contradictory. Don't think it is contradictory. No. But anyone who is, this indicates that you are not indebted to the every living entity. You did not worship, you did not feed poor. This is the point. You did not give, you did not do eye camps. You have to tell to people, अरे लोगों के लिए क्या कर रहे हैं तुम लोग? What you're doing for the people? You're only chanting Hare Krishna. No. This is what we have to explain. They will say you're dutiful to sages, you're dutiful to the pigeons, the Jains in their shops. When you go in the Jains community, they have a big picture of ants, cows, dogs, pigeons. There is a big picture. I don't know whether you have seen it or not, whether you know it or not. Agrawals and Jains, they have this. Because they do the business, they do this provision business, they have all sorts of businesses. So in their shops, they have this big picture put, and it is said, yes, punya, aapko har din. They do this every day. In Gujarat, every day, people, wherever they are going, they go to office. On their way, they take chapati and feed the cows every day. I don't know whether you know it or not. In North India, in South India, they give to there are some people, everyday affair is they take Parle-G biscuit, go to the dogs and give them. Every day in Vrindavan, there are people who feed the monkeys. So it is the duty of the duty of the Grahastha to feed every living entity. A Grahastha is more obliged. He has to see that even a scorpion is not gone hungry. Even a scorpion or a snake. What to speak of big people? He has to go every day out, clap, and then call before sleeping. Is there anyone who is gone hungry? If you not, please come to my house. I have something for you. It's a very great obligation. But what we are trying to speak is something transcendental. If you speak, transcendental means first Krishna, because people don't know about the importance of Guru. If you tell him he is obliged to Guru, they will give Guru everything. Like for example, if you go to Cambodia, if you go to Thailand, if you go to Laos, all these Buddhist countries, Japan, China, these Buddhist monks, every day they go for alms and they have a begging bowl, and there is a sound produced by these Buddhist monks. What it is called as bhikshus. I don't know, in Bihar also they are there. Bhikshus, they are called bhikshu, Bauddha bhikshu. What they do is that they make a sound. They ring it, and then they circle around that begging bowl. It makes a very beautiful brass is made of, and it makes a healing sound. So hearing that sound in that begging bowl, the people come out and they will pay down, and they will put something on the bowl. So what's happening in these countries, in Buddhist, in Cambodia, and these when these Buddhist monks go, they put in the whatever they put so many things. They put sometimes cash, they put sometimes so many things. So I happened to go to one of the Buddhist monks in Cambodia. And what happened is, I saw them smoking cigarettes, and I asked the local devotees, the Cambodian Mataji, when Mataji was hosting us, she is a devotee from Canada, and she told me that these monks, they go and people put sometimes beef, sometimes pork, sometimes a whole pig, sometimes a whole dog, like fried. Sometimes they give money, they give cigarette packets, they give drugs, and whatever they give, they accept it. That is what they are thinking. But we are not like that. So what is my point? What I am trying to make is that, so the brahmachari is not obliged. The grihasthas are obliged. So now the point comes is that here Guru is not there. So this verse is to encourage the common public to take up Krishna consciousness in such a way that once they take up Krishna consciousness, they will, well, next level is they will come to the understanding that we can never become, like, our indebtedness can never be reduced. It cannot be absolved at all. It cannot be removed, because we are always indebted to eternally indebted to the spiritual master, because he has given us Krishna. Through Krishna, you get Guru, and through Guru, you get Krishna. You get the knowledge of Krishna so that you can serve Krishna as it is. Previously, you don't know, Guru who can give you Krishna. But this reciprocation, that through Krishna you get Guru, spiritual master. But how will you get? So there should be some medium. So Bhagavatam, when they read Bhagavatam, you will see anyone who has taken shelter of Krishna or Mukunda, who gives the liberation, he what is happening? He gives up all kinds of obligation, uh, and is taken up the path of Krishna consciousness. He is not obliged, not dutiful to all these people, but he is obliged, taken up a higher obligation. That is what is main important. Here, the main point is that these sages, living entities, family members, forefathers, this is all bhautika. This is all material. Although it is connected to the body, it is all material. It has nothing to do with Krishna consciousness. But once Krishna comes into picture, then it becomes transcendental, and he approaches a guru, and everything there, he becomes obliged there. That obligation is transcendental obligation. But whatever is spoken in this verse is material obligation. To take up Krishna consciousness, to transcend the material obligation. Sometimes people give an argument, Arey, wo to mar gaya, that fellow has died. What is it? Why you have to do Pindadan? Did anybody hear this argument? People telling it? Hare Krishna. अरे वो तो गुजर गया है, पिंडदान किसको कर रहे हैं? These leftists, the communists, they say that what is this nonsense? People get happy if a crow comes and eats. It's not crow, Baba. Are you mad? It's pantheistic or what? It's zoomorphism or what? Nothing like that. So the main point is that it's the obligation of the son. Putrarte kriyate bharya putra pinda prayojanam. Why the spiritual masters, or why the shastras encourage you have to have a putra? Whatever it is, one should have a putra. One should have a son. That's why people used to produce more and more children to have more and more sons. If they have more and more daughters, they want every time son. That's why in many places like Bihar, Jharkhand, even in Gujarat, even in not Gujarat, Rajasthan, they beget many children to get that particular son. Why? Because putrarte, to have a, why you marry? To get a son. If you don't have a son, that means you try every time to get a son. That is why we encourage people that you should have more and more children, so that you have sons, many sons. Because nowadays, because Kali Yuga is there, Alpayushu, people don't know, they may die, sons may die, daughters may die at any time. We don't know. Don't become sentimental when I say this. We should understand. One may die anytime. My mother told me this. If I would have known that my son is going to die anytime, I would have begotten 10 children, no problem. If one would have died, no problem. Let go away. So many people used to take sannyas. They used to go away with sadhus. Never used to get bothered so much. Nowadays, one son, if he joins brahmachari ashram, it's a pahad khada kar dete hain ghar mein. अरे 10 लोगों को बच्चों को पैदा करो ना. Why don't you marry and we get 10 children? No, one child. Why? Ekaki, ekaki. My mother used to say that he is just one child means it is like no child actually. In Andhra, in Brahmin community, they say that one child means actually there is no child. I don't know. I should not say all these intricacy things which people get disturbed out of it, and they may stop or speaking to me, or they may not come to the classes. But these are very, very important. The cultured things one should know. We used to say that my mother used to say, one person, one boy or one girl means no children. Just like there is a proverb, there is a saying, even in Bhagavatam it is said, because the sun is there, even if the wife, husband dies, still she is not considered as widow, because the son is representing the father. The same way applies like that. So what can I say? So many things are there to be told. So main thing is that the obligation which that verse says, it's material obligation, and which here is the spiritual obligation. In spirituality also, in transcend, even in spirituality also there is obligation. That is spiritual obligation. That is the inspiration which we get to serve Krishna. How we get inspiration? You always think, oh, today is my duty to see that I speak to one person. There is a lecture by Maharaj, Enhancing Our Spiritual Life. Kindly hear that particular lecture. It's a Balaram Purnima lecture. Maharaj gives how you can enhance your spiritual life. You can do shloka recitation every day, one Vishnu Sahasranamam or Nasimha Kavacham. Maharaj gives ideas. Maharaj says that today I want to speak at least one new person. I want to give Krishna consciousness. I want to speak to him. I want to speak to him. I want to distribute one book. So like that, how to enhance our spiritual life. Otherwise, what we are having, we won't have anything except the desire. The jiva doesn't have anything of his own. Full stop. The jiva's only asset is his desire. That he has to put under the lotus feet of Krishna and Guru. That will take him, that will inspire him to go ahead. Otherwise, we don't have anything. We have come naked, we are going naked. Rather, we have so much of burden to the sages, to the we see. I'll tell you one thing. You don't know how your mother was there when you were coming out of the womb. Huh? And the doctor, the nurses, they have helped you to come out of the mother's womb. Of course, your mother has, if it is a cesarean, they take it out. But if it is a natural pregnancy, so much pain they take, mothers. And who is going to, and there are so many people they kill. Recently, yesterday, I heard a news, a son in Gujarat, he plotted the whole scheme in such a way that the mother, father were, actually they got, there was a big accident in the house, and the mother, father died in the fire broke in the house and they died. But actually police probe into this and they found out that the son killed the mother and father to get the property. Can you imagine the son? Can you imagine? Can you imagine what kind of mother she taken all pain to come out of the mother's womb, and mothers, can you imagine? Because we don't know, male people don't know what kind of pain women undergo to get the baby out. They cry and they think that I don't want to have one more pregnancy. And it happens so painful, and you kill the mother. Oh, Krishna, you will never have a mother. Your mother, you will be killed every time. And when I read that news, tears came to my eyes. Immediately I saw the mother, ba, 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 ba. How much pain she would have felt. So this is the indebtedness for that mother. You don't know what type of doctor they come and give the baby, hold the baby and give. That doctor we are obliged. That nurse we are obliged. That hospital we are obliged. We are obliged to so many people we don't know. So it's all, but Krishna consciousness is like we are serving Krishna means we are not obliged to anybody. But sometimes some people, old people, they come and I give Hare Krishna mantra, the card to the old people and tell them because they are going to die. They're going to die like a dog. So we want to give that this one. Sorry, I'm speaking so much unnecessarily. Oh, this is the thing. Okay. Hope you are getting the point which I'm trying to explain. If you have anything to say, you can speak after the class. Okay, Prabhu, you can.
He especially stressed preaching and book distribution as appropriate responses for disciples' sense of indebtedness. Certainly, Krishna will bless you for taking so much trouble to preach his glories. A Vaishnav ways feels himself incapable to repay his debt to his spiritual master. Therefore, he works very hard in order to try and repay that debt. He knows that without the mercy of the spiritual master, one cannot reach this Krishna consciousness, and therefore he always tries to act in such a way that he may please his Guru. More and more persons, as they are exposed to my Krishna conscious literatures, are appreciating their value, and your greatest manner of showing your appreciation is by your constant increase in distributing them everywhere. Dilating on this topic in a classic letter to his sons and daughters in New Dwarka, Los Angeles. If you feel at all indebted to me, then you should preach vigorously like me. That is that is the proper way to repay me. Of course, no one can repay the debt to the spiritual master, but the spiritual master is very pleased by such an attitude by the disciple. In the Bhagavad Gita, it is said, Vyavasayatmika buddhir ekahai kuru nandana. Those who are on this path are resolute in purpose, and their aim is one. Our only business is to be fixed up in devotional service by pleasing the spiritual master. Those who are not fixed up have various lines of action. Eka means one and Bhu means many. The real ocean of mercy is Krishna, and it is the duty of the spiritual master to tell his disciple to come to that ocean and be happy. The spiritual master's duty is to lead the disciple to this ocean. I am trying my best, and if you try to surely you will benefit. Bhakti Vinod Thakur has sung Krishna se tomar, Krishna dite par, tomar shakti ache. আমি তো कंगाल कृष्ण कृष्ण बलि धई ताव पाछे पाछे. Krishna is yours and you have the power to give him to anyone you wish. I am poor and wretched and running behind you shouting Krishna Krishna. Krishna is unlimited and no one can catch him. But if someone follows the parampara, he agrees to be captured. Everyone is afraid of Krishna, but Krishna is afraid of Mother Yashoda. That is Krishna's special mercy.
Okay,
Part
Prabhu.
50.
Okay, Prabhu. Now, from here, the topics become very, very hard, very, very, I mean, I would say, mm, in one sense, very important. Yeah, we can say. Um, Very touchy. Yes, Purijit Prabhu, you can continue for a few minutes. Or we'll start next. I think we'll start next. Let this be. Let this be. We'll stop here. Yeah, already Ramdas Prabhu has some question. So we'll stop here. And devotees, other than Ramdas Prabhu, anybody has anything to speak on indebtedness? You want to say something? Then you can raise your hand and speak before I go to Ramdas Prabhu. You see, fall downs, defiance, and insincerity. It becomes. Anybody has anything to say? Matajis, Prabhujis. Nobody? Hare Krishna? Okay. Okay, Ramdas Prabhu, you can speak out.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So I had a question based on what it is. I don't know, maybe I didn't understand you clearly. When you were saying about, one should have many kids, what was the point of having many kids?
The point was, what I was trying to say is that there are some practical things and there are some obligatory things. Practical things in such a way that to say that to have more kids was like brahmachari doesn't know what is the pain and problem which both husband and wife take care. They don't. I don't know. Brahmacharis don't know. But at the same time, in the Vedic culture, they used to have many kids because in the Vedic culture, many people in the Kali Yuga, we don't know when uh, somebody may leave the body. And they have one son, and one son is there. They will think, and it's very nice, very good. They might say, but we don't know anything might happen to that one particular son. He might join brahmachari ashram, or he might go away somewhere, or he may do so many things by which that particular obligation to do pinda pradhan, punnamna narakaya trayate iti putraha. That pinda pradhan, he may lose that opportunity, and even that material obligation may not be done, and the mother and father might go to hell for that matter, or the parents who are died. So the main thing is that they used to give Vedic culture. So in Vedic culture, it was. So my point is that many children means that they used to see that they used to have more and more sons. That is the main thing which they used to see. It's not that having a female child is wrong or anything like that. Nothing like that. Nothing against it. But the putra has a more responsibility. Putra means punnana narakaya trayati iti putraha. So putra or the son has a very great obligation. So for to get the son, they used to try again and again. If there are more daughters, they used to accept it as the presence of Lakshmi Devi. They used to say, but they used to get a son because he's the person who is responsible for the because the lady or the female child, doesn't belong to the particular family. She goes to other family actually. she's she's she actually she doesn't have any relationship with the father once she gets married. That's all. So the putra has the relationship. Even Maharaj also spoken last time. Which lecture? Maharaj was speaking regarding this. Sometimes what so happens that they don't have female kids. Sorry, they don't have male children. These mother and father, they become old and they depend on the daughters. And daughters, how they can do it because they have their own children. But the son cannot avoid that. Maharaj was also speaking on this point. So in that way, what they used to do in the Vedic culture, they used to have many, many children. so that obligation everybody shares. Now, because we are being brainwashed about this joint family, they have so much of selfishness and they don't have properties, they are working in different places. We don't know what kind of nature, what kind of culture they used to imbibe during joint families. So that's what I'm trying to explain. So the main thing is that, yes, that is there. Prabhupada also said one should not beget like cats and dogs or pigs. But at the same time, if he knows, if he's Krishna conscious person, and it is very difficult also to make kids Krishna conscious. You can't say. It's not that every kid will become Krishna conscious. So if one kid is there, try to make him Krishna, him or her Krishna conscious. But we don't know whether they will become or not. So that's why if you have more kids, at least one or the other fellow will become Krishna conscious. So that's the idea. It's always, in all circumstances, it is better to have many children so that, yeah, it is very difficult to take care of them. We can't just like that leave them. And so much money is required to make them study and all those things. In US, it is compulsory that everybody should go to school. They should go to the school. You can't avoid. Some states, it is mother, father can go to jail also for not getting their sons daughters joined in a school. But India, it is not like that. So I know so many of my congregation children, they don't go to school at all. They have homeschooling, and because they know that kids will spoil. So they have this homeschooling, or they send to Salem, Gurukul, or this one as a part-time Gurukul. And so like that, in that way, they try to get avoid karmi association. Because it is very difficult nowadays. Yesterday also one person, I told him, you should have more children, I said. He said, you know how much it costs? It costs around 200,000, $20,000 for the whole year to get the son admitted. So much is there. We don't know how he will become. So you don't know. Like that you were saying. Uh, so even after you tell so many things, still we will tell you should have many children. Because that is the way. Otherwise, there is a video by the Karmis they have done. If a population of a Patel certain civilization becomes for every two people, point like Japan, like for example, Japan, they are reducing, the population is reducing like anything. There are 9 million homes vacant. In Japan, there are 9 million homes, nobody is staying. And there are every day 30,000 people die alone. I mean, the alone means the old people, they die alone. Nobody is there for them to take care of them. They die. They live in that same couch. They pass stool in that same place because they can't walk around. There is nobody to take care of them. And they say Japan is very advanced, Japan is very intelligent. Are khak advanced hai. You should read the news. 30,000 people die. Go and search in the internet. If Hindus also become like that, then that's all. You're all dynasty. Islam will take over. That is also one of the practical consideration. You should marry. You don't be vagabond. Don't have a panchama ashram. Nowadays, it has become a fashion. They don't join brahmachari ashram. They don't join. They don't be a grasta. They will be in between. Don't do this nonsense in between. You can tell anybody for that matter. Don't do this in between business. In between, they don't be in brahmachari ashram. They don't neither be in grasta ashram. In between. It's in between. You marry kids. Sorry.
Sorry, go ahead. No, go ahead, Prabhupada. I want to ask you something, but go ahead.
Ask you something. You're asking. You're asking.
You were saying something. I didn't want to disrupt what you were saying. I thought you were finished.
Yeah. I'm done. This is what
Okay.
This is what I wanted to. The Panchama Ashram, which I was trying to explain, is that many people, they get bad experience or wrong understanding of, or they don't want to join brahmacharis. They can't become brahmacharis. But at the same time, they don't want to marry also because they know that it's a lot of obligation, lot of things. So they don't want to do that one also. So they live a life of a bachelor kind of a thing, even coming to Krishna consciousness. So that Prabhupada didn't encourage. Prabhupada wanted either you live in the temple as a vanaprasthi or as a brahmachari or as a sannyasi. Or you go out, you marry, have kids, have children, take that obligation, do something for Krishna. That is what, either of these two. Don't have a midway. This is what I was trying to explain. Yes.
Okay. I'm gonna put forward some stuff. I'm not arguing with what you had to say. I'm just put forward. So Shastra says that we shouldn't have a wife nor a child unless we could deliver them,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah. That is there.
So
See, I
so
am
next
talking
thing
about
is
devotees. So I am talking about devotees. So devotees means he knows that I should make them Krishna conscious.
okay.
See,
So next thing,
that is not that. See, I can't tell every particular, bring all the Shastra in particular 10 minutes or 5 minutes talk, whatever I am trying to speak. Yeah, that is the prime principle. Why you become a devotee then? You are not a devotee, you are a grahastha or a brahmachari. Grahastha means he knows if I'm marrying means that marriage is vivaha yajna, and my patni is dharma patni, and I should live a dharmic life. I should do my duties as a grahastha, and whoever children I'm begetting is dharma viruddho bhuteshu kamosmi bharatarshava. This is life is this for begetting Krishna conscious children. That is a basic thing that I need not again and again tell all these things.
yeah, but the things in which are being mentioned, for example, you have kids so they can perform this pinda, but pinda is like you said, devotees are not
Okay, that is
aspiring for
material. I
liberation.
understand. That is material.
It's,
You mean to say
but
that is
even
material?
yeah, so I'm not arguing with what you said. I'm just put forward in some statement
No, I am
in
talking
which
about, see, when I spoke from the cultural perspective, what would have used to happen, and now what is happening, and what Prabhupada also wanted. But Prabhupada also said to even disciples also, Putrate Krete. Why Prabhupada said, Prabhupada gave this many devotees argue this. And I'm sorry to say like this. One of my god brother, I told him, Prabhuji, you are married, why don't you have children? He says, that I don't have time for children. I'm preaching. This is nonsense. This is nonsense.
I mean Grihastha life, the whole point of Grihastha life, from my understanding, is to have Krishna conscious, well, to attract the right soul. It's not have kids to be liberated, but it's to attract the right soul, to give them the
Prabhu,
opportunity.
I'll tell you one thing. I'll tell you one thing. It is not possible in this way so easily that you to attract a soul. That doesn't mean that you don't want to beget children. That is also a adharma for the this one. Okay, I can't attract a soul. I can't attract. How long you will be like that? It is right. It is, see, these all instructions to the grahasthas is made to make up the mind, to get an attract soul, but doesn't mean, okay, people will ask you why you don't have kids. I'm waiting for to get a consciousness or an attitude in such a way that we can attract the kids. But by the time you that get that, your whole young age will go away, and um, uh, you don't know that. See, that my point is that you can't rush up, but at the same time, you see, it's difficult. I know it is. That is why don't enter into Krista life. Then don't enter
Okay,
into
now
Krista life.
I have
Be a
one thing.
brahmachari.
I have one other thing that you said. So you said though, because I asked Guru Maharaj give a lecture on this. You shouldn't be in between. Basically, I am in between. I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm in between. So I asked Guru Maharaj before I got initiated. I asked Guru Maharaj about this, and he said continue doing what it is that you do. And what was I doing? Book distribution. So I asked Guru Maharaj. I said, Guru Maharaj, because you see, the thing is, the whole point, and you mentioned this, is to what? He said, though, Guru becomes happy when you perform preaching. And not only preaching, but when one makes his life successful. What is making his life successful? One might say, okay, you have to be in the brahmachari ashram, or you have to be in the grihastha ashram. You shouldn't be in between. Now, in between means you're doing, going out, you might be partying. Are you following the principle? What does in between mean? If one is
Okay,
following, if one is
okay,
following, go ahead.
okay. Let me tell you one thing. See, Prabhu, you didn't choose to be in between. I'm telling you personally, and then anybody for that matter. I'm not targeting you. Don't mistake me.
No, I didn't think you were targeting me.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
didn't think
So
so.
what I'm trying to tell you is that you are forced to, your circumstances forced you to become like that. It's not that you chose to be like that. But I am telling you, there are so many devotees, they chose to be like that. Don't choose to be like that. You may be forced because of your bad karma or whatever it is. Like some devotees, marriage doesn't work. So what my point is that it's a general instruction for the devotees who are upcoming, who are coming to Krishna consciousness. Either you become a grahastha or a brahmachari. It is not for those devotees. If you have accepted a personal instruction from Maharaj to do like that, although you are in between by circumstances or by force or anything like that, you don't want to be like that. But what to do, there are so many devotees like that, I can't help. So better be a vanaprasthi, live in the temple, whatever may be the circumstance. It is difficult, I know that it is difficult. So but if you are getting, so what my point is that even if it is difficult, it is for my point is mainly to those directing towards those devotees who are initially coming to Krishna consciousness and they are interested to join, and then they are chanting, they are initiated. Now they should not mess up their life. Okay, do something in, but still in Kali Yuga, even if you say all these things, still these things will happen because it's like that. You're understanding what I'm saying? So it is a personal. See, I'll tell you one more thing regarding. You may say that Maharaj told me. Maharaj knows that some people marriage doesn't work, so better be situated by distributing books. If you are it is like that for certain devotees. Maharaj will tell, don't further marry. Okay, go forward. But if you see Gurudas Prabhu. There was one devotee, Gurudas Prabhu. There was one Prabhu Maharaj disciple. Maharaj used to every time tell him, be a brahmachari. But he used to say, no, 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 Maharaj, I can't. Previously, Maharaj, whenever every Maharaj, brahmachari used to come into Maharaj and then say that I want to marry, he used to discourage them. Maharaj used to tell them, no, don't marry, be in brahmachari ashram. Now Maharaj is not encouraging. Maharaj is saying, you get married and go to farm. Why Maharaj is saying? Maharaj would have told you also, go to farm, go to Tennessee farm or go to join some farm. But what you are doing something, and Maharaj is encouraging you. Understand? It's your personal instruction. What I am trying to tell you is that it's your personal instruction that your situation is like that. So Maharaj gave you that instruction that you do what you are doing, but it is not a general instruction. You understand that?
Yeah. That I understand.
That is what I am trying to. I am not, see, sorry if by my words I would have offended you or anything personally, but I'm not
No,
targeting you
you
at
didn't
all.
benefit.
I'm giving a general idea about general understanding about what real, because these things matters nowadays. Hindus specifically are getting spoiled because there are so many news they hear about women killing, they're having extramarital affair. So much is going on, even among devotees. I'm very sorry to say like this, but they're getting intimidated. Boys are getting intimidated not to marry, and girls are getting intimidated. What kind of boy he will be? They don't want to marry. This is what is the trend going on. 40 years. There's so many Hindu women. 40 years. They're not married. I know personally from India, Nepal, Bangladesh, Hindus. They don't want to marry. Mataji's, Prabhuji's, I'm talking about women and man. Even coming to Krishna consciousness, they don't want to marry. They want to live alone. The loneliness, you don't know, it is the prime cause of suicides. And I am not
Of
surprised
what?
devotees will commit suicide in
Suicides?
future also.
What did you say? Prime cause of what?
Loneliness.
Is the prime cause of what? Suicide, you said?
Yeah, suicides. Lonely. That is what is the cause of suicides in Japan. They're lonely. They can't express why, in West, in Europe, why they marry at the age of 60, 70. You see, hear Maharaj lectures. Why they marry? Not to have intercourse or anything like that, because they don't want to be alone. They won't want to be alone. You don't know. Loneliness is the cause of so many mental problems. The mental illness are because of loneliness. Among Hindus, among ISKCON people, you don't know. There's so many devotees, they're living alone. There's so many devotees, their families are so much problematic. I know so many devotees. I know so many devotees. Atindri Prabhu is giving a thumb symbol. Maybe you can explain. If I say again and again, people are getting
Yes,
intimidated.
Prabhuji, actually, I have also experienced. I mean, I know personally some devotees. They were earlier afraid of marriage, but after some time, after seeing the some temple management, they are now afraid to being a brahmachari also. So they are living
Yeah,
alone.
this is one thing. I know this is a very big topic. Nobody is addressing. I'm very sorry to say like this. And I am getting, time is delayed, but I'm saying this is, see, Prabhu, you may say that I am chanting, my guru told me to serve Krishna, I am distributing books. Why alone? This is the problem. Alone, 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 alone. Whole life. I'm not targeting anybody over here. But I'm also alone, but I don't want to be alone. Circumstances, because of my karma, I'm alone or distributing books. No, we should not be alone. Loneliness is the cause. I know so many devotees. I used to distribute books in Vrindavan and Mayapur. I know so many devotees. I used to see them 60, 70, 80-year-old man, 80-year-old Mataji, they married. Why they married? Not to have intercourse or anything. It's to get out of the loneliness. अरे किसी को तो बोलना पड़ेगा ना. अरे somebody has to be there. And I'm telling you, nowadays it has become a trend. Matajis, they don't want to get married. They're being brainwashed, and it is a very great problem for them. They don't know. And specifically, it is coming from VIHE, Vrindavan Institute of Higher Education. There is Prashanti Mataji. There is, when Matajis are there, they preach a lot. You don't marry, you will live alone. You don't know. It's a great problem. I don't know, Mataji, Ruchira Mataji or whoever, they can explain to me if they heard it or not. Ruchira Mataji, you heard it, all these things, what I'm explaining? Did you see it?
Pranam Prabhuji, sorry. Prabhuji, yes, today only one, like my god sister, she told me like in the devotee community, like Prabhuji and Mataji got engaged out of marriage, like, and then they were asking for forgiveness. Like so much uh, bad is happening in the society, like, and wherever there are no new temples, like people are not following any rules and regulations. Mm, those were practiced like earlier, like Matajis are standing in separate, like this thing, and Prabhujis, everybody is like mingling
Mhm.
up, and
Worship.
Kirtaniyas also are singing like. Uh, am I
Yeah.
audible, Prabhuji?
Mataji? Yeah, you're audible. You can speak out. You can
Yes.
speak. You can speak. You're
So
audible.
yesterday, yes, yes. Like, so everybody's scared of getting married. Like, I don't know. Yes. Mm, very bad time is going on. And in the temples also, they don't follow rules. Those were like being followed like 10, 15 years back. When I see whatever was the like situation, it has changed drastically now. Like, mm,
And
so it
see,
was a
see
very
the other
sorry
see the other
state.
side. See the other side, Islam and all those. They don't. See, the thing is, I understand that it is not proper to speak about Islam or anything now. But you can see they are increasing their population like anything. Where you will be, what is going to happen? Even devotee. See, we are practicing Krishna consciousness. We are chanting Hare Krishna. We are having Prabhupada's books. What is your problem? Okay, you will have so many problems. Adjust, marry, adjust, and live. Live a married life. Actually, in South India, it is not a problem. I'm telling you, even among South India, even nowadays, modern people becoming so much into modern education. This modern education is the problem. People don't understand that.
getting into higher education every time, reading, studying this. They don't have time to think that I want to get married. Can you imagine? And our devotees leaders, they want Matajis and Gauranga Prabhu, Radhesham Prabhu. Why they don't encourage devotees to marry and then have a settled life, nice life? Why they don't preach like that? Why? Why they don't tell them have a married life? अरे ये तो बोल रहा है कि wait until you get a proper, अरे वो lecture दे रहा है, wait until you get a proper match. You will not get a proper match. Adjust, have something, think that this is my karma, that's all, and then go on, no problem. But who is the adarsha? There is no, I would say, there is no proper digrasta leader also. That is one of the problems. Am I right or not? So that is why these all things are happening. And I'm not talking superficially here. This we went to so much topic and it has gone to somewhere else and drastically. Only Prabhupada can save us. Nobody, see, everybody wants to live alone and everybody has an extramarital affair. This is the problem. They want to live alone. They want to live alone. At the same time, they want to have an extramarital affair. That doesn't work.
When you say a marital affair, you're talking about they want to like.
No. The thing is that they want to live alone because they have a problem with their wife or girlfriend or whatever it is. But at the same time, they want to have a illicit affair, or they have an affair. Many devotees have affairs. And what happened in Pune, everybody knows. That brahmachari.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not familiar with half the stuff that happens, like when it comes to devotee association.
No, what I'm saying, I'm not telling the names of the devotees, but it is happening among the devotee circle that a brahmachari marries a married Mataji, Mataji marries a married grahastha. These all things are happening.
Wait, they're married and they're getting married again? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
How is that possible?
How is it possible?
Anyway, I don't know. It just seems like anyway. I don't want to get into much of that. It just seems it's just break. First off, you're not even following the four principle which Srila Prabhupada wants you to follow. It's just a waste of time. What's the point? What's the point?
No,
it's like if you go do this, you're not following the four principles. If you know you want to be outside and you just want, you're not able to get married, but you're gonna go sleep with somebody, you're breaking one of the four principles. What's the point? It's just waste of time. You're wasting your energy, and you're just pretending.
But that is happening.
Get married and done. And why run after a married woman? There's so many single women out there. What do you think? She got, what does she has that no other woman has? Are you out of your mind? Are you really so lusty after someone? Anyway, I have no idea. It's beside. I have no idea what it is. I don't know what happens, and I have no idea.
See, why we are discussing all these things, so that if we come across all these things. It's not that I'm speaking out of mind. So many devotees are
You're saying that these things are existing in Krishna consciousness right now amongst devotees who are practicing. You're saying that they're going run around with other people's wives.
Prabhu, it's not that they run around and then they catch Matajis or Prabhujis like that, but because of the intimacy, what Mataji has just now said, that intermingling between the Prabhujis and Matajis, intermingling between the married Matajis and Prabhujis, brahmacharis and Matajis, it's becoming more and more casual. That's what Mataji told. Ruchira Mataji, that's what you explained, right?
Yes, Prabhuji.
So because of that, it's not that they are running around catching Matajis like that or Prabhujis like that. It's not like that. They are not breaking the principles. But what I'm saying is that because of too much of intermingling of grahasthas and brahmacharis and Matajis and grahasthas, Matajis and brahmacharis, so these things inevitably will happen. This is what is the point. So we should not be like that, because you are not moving around Grahastha's diaspora. Because among the big ISKCON is very big, and India it is still big. Go to Mayapur, Vrindavan, you will see every day these things are happening every now and then. I'm not talking about this. I know one of my god brother. I should not tell this. He married and he divorced her and he married another one. What do you say for this?
I
So
mean,
I
if
mean,
someone
what
is
is it?
attached, so,
Maharaj is encouraging him distribute books. That's all he can do. He can't do
yeah, but
anything.
there's 2 points to this. If someone is attached to, to being with somebody, and that marriage doesn't work out, it's best they get married again rather than they run around and go sleeping with people. That's not right. So I don't know the situation. So it just depends on the situation, I guess, that they would get married. Because if you have somebody who's trying to practice or is practicing or initiated, I'm not sure what the position is. You said God brother, so he's initiated. And he wants to get married again. If you don't let him get married, then he's just gonna run around and break principles.
See, Prabhu, devotees don't think that they are breaking principles. First, you understand that. They think that one marriage doesn't work. And no, how you, listen. They are thinking that my marriage didn't work, so I will not be with that Mataji and I will live a legitimate life with another Mataji. That is what they think. They divorce or they don't live with that Mataji and get another one. So this is what is happening. But Maharaj or gurus are encouraging. No, it's not that Maharaj is encouraging. What can he do? That is what is the thing. What he doesn't have, he is saying, no, don't do like that. But they are doing it. What Maharaj will say, don't get out, I reject you. Maharaj cannot say that. Maharaj is okay, whatever you are doing, okay, practice Krishna consciousness. Do
They
something,
should
serve
they
Krishna.
should just they should just go back to marry for life, and that's it. Nothing else. After that,
That
forget this
is what,
divorce business.
that
Whatever you
is,
have in your whatever
but
you have in your
Prabhu,
relationship, you just deal with it. If you have to fight every day, you fight every day. That's it. Just stay with one person. That's it. If that's the person you pick them, and that's it.
yeah,
You're running after them.
see, Prabhu, everybody knows the principle, but what is happening, we are discussing, and they should not happen, and that is what I am trying to explain. Okay, anyhow, thank you very much for all devotees. So we will meet tomorrow. It's already so much time has become. I don't want to take much of it. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Vanchakalpatarubhishya kripa sindhivyo cha patitanam pavanebhyo vaishnavebhyo namo नमः. अनंत कोटि वैष्णव भक्तवृंद की जाय, जगत गुरु शिल प्रभुपाद की जाय, His Holiness Bhakti Vikas Swami Maharaj ki jai, the modern Vishnu Srila Prabhupada ki jai. And devotees, please don't take it personal or anything other than which I have spoken. Please forgive me if would have told anything, because we don't know. Somebody should not complain in this group to Maharaj that Krishna Keshav Das is speaking like that.